The blade screams like an angry wasp as metal teeth bite into the wood inches from Ethan's face. Sparks spit across the hallway, bright as fireflies and just as fast. He feels the heat on his cheeks, the sweat breaking along his brow, the steady drum of his heart screaming louder than any warning. Jack Baker's laugh rolls through the walls, warm, cheerful, wrong. "Come on, boy," Jack says, like this is a game that only he enjoys. Ethan has 3 bullets, a dead flashlight, and 1 second to make a choice that feels bigger than life. The crawl space in the floor gapes like a thirsty mouth to his left. Hide, jump, or fight? The hallway smells like damp dirt and old iron. Somewhere below, water taps like a clock running out. Ethan takes a breath, and the house seems to lean closer, waiting to hear which way he breaks. Hours earlier, the world is fog and quiet. Ethan's rattling sedan rolls along a black ribbon of road cut through the swamp. Cypress trees lift thin arms into a gray sky. Moss drips and sways like curtains no one has washed in years. The GPS died miles back, and the phone shows a red sliver of life that looks more like a dare than a battery. On the passenger seat, a photo of Mia stares up, summer brightness, crinkled eyes, a smile that once felt like home. 3 years is a long time to be gone. 3 years is longer to be believed dead. Then the email came, no hello, no story, only, come get me. I'm at the Baker house. It hooked his heart and reeled him into the fog. The dirt road fades into roots, and the roots run into a chain-link fence wrapped in black vines. The gate is cracked open like it changed its mind. Mosquitoes kiss the windshield, and something heavy shifts in the brush, close enough to hear but far enough to doubt. "Okay," Ethan whispers, because small, steady words keep fear from getting big. In and out. "Find Mia. Get help." He tucks her photo into his jacket where it feels like paper-thin armor. The mud tries to pull his shoe back with every step. He keeps going. The Baker farmhouse rises all at once, a heavy shape sagging into the swamp like it wants to sink. Shutters tilt, porches bow, and the roof wears patches like a bad quilt. A once white swing hangs by a single chain, turning in a slow, lazy circle as if an invisible hand flicks it now and then. The front door is chained and padlocked, a rusted fist clenched around the handle. The air is sour and damp, the kind of smell wood gets when it's rotted from inside. Ethan circles the porch, listening to boards whisper under his weight and wondering which part of the house is alive and which part only pretends. The side door hangs crooked. When Ethan nudges it, the wood scrapes the floor in a long, unhappy sigh. Inside, the kitchen is a graveyard for plates and cups. Pans lie sideways. The sink holds water that is not water, and the drain gulps like it's tasting. He moves through the stink of old meat and wet paper. A cockroach slips from under a stack of damp newspapers and charges over his shoe like it owns the place. He steadies himself on a sticky counter and wipes his hand on his jeans, because there are only so many bad feelings one palm can hold. "Hello," he tries, but the house drinks the word and doesn't give any back. The next room holds a fat old TV and a VCR asleep beneath it. On the table, a tape in a clear case labeled "Derelict House" in black marker, the letters sharp and mean. He does not want to see. He needs to see. The TV hums. Snow flickers. He slides the tape in and presses play. The frame shakes to life like a held breath. 2 men step through the same side door Ethan used, their nervous jokes crashing into the same sour smell. They call the house perfect, the way people do before they learn. They show the kitchen, the hall, the bookshelf. Then a lever, a hidden panel, a dark stare down into a mouth that never knew daylight. The camera tumbles, the picture twists, and a scream chokes off like a candle snuffed by wet fingers. Static takes over. Ethan stands there with the hiss pressing against his skin, the room now too small for air. Behind the bookshelf, just like on the tape, his trembling hand finds the seam. The panel swings open and breathes out a smell like cold mud and old breath. The ladder waits, thin rungs over a dark throat. Ethan's chest pinches. He could turn back. He could leave. But turning back would be the kind of leaving that never stops. He sets his foot on the first rung and descends into the hush. The basement is a bent-back world of damp concrete and pipes that tick and drip. The ceiling is too low for a man to stand tall, and maybe that's the point. His phone's weak light slides over walls that shine with a wetness that feels alive. Down here, time is counted by drops. The tunnel curves like a question and delivers him to a door made of bars. The lock is new, a bright tooth in a ruined mouth. On a table nearby, a small, simple key that looks ordinary enough to break curses. Inside the barred room, a cot and chains, a broken mirror, a brush with hair that doesn't want to be remembered. A photo is paperclipped to torn magazine paper, Mia's face thin and brave. On the back, a warning, don't trust them, shaky letters, steady meaning. A shape sits small at the far wall, knees to chest, hair a dark curtain. Mia? Ethan says, and his voice is a door opening in his chest. The head lifts. The hair falls back. It's her, paler, thinner, and still Mia. For one long second, the world breathes. She is cold in his arms, smelling of water and iron. You shouldn't be here, she says, and he tells her he's getting her out because saying the plan makes it stronger. They move together through the tunnels, bent and careful. She knows where to step, when to duck, how not to wake the house. He asks pebbled questions, how long, why? She answers in small stones, the family, the house, it doesn't let go. The truth is simple and heavy. They crawl into a vent and become the quiet. Above them, boards creak. A lazy, cheerful voice drifts, where'd y'all go? Dinner's getting cold. A metal tap moves over their heads, count. Ethan's hands shake. He tries to stop them and fails. The steps pass. The dust settles. He lets out breath through his teeth because full breaths might be too loud to keep. A laundry room waits above the crawl with sour cloth and old soap smells. A phone on a little table rings once, sharp as a slap. Then again. Then it stops, leaving a silence that feels heavier than noise. Mia squeezes his hand. The hallway holds a line of black-bottom doors, each with a shadow like a mouth. It listens, she whispers, and puts her palm to the boards as if feeling a heartbeat. They find the threadbare rug and the metal ring hidden beneath it. The hatch groans, opening to a cold breath from below. I'll go first, Ethan says, trying on brave like a borrowed jacket. The house changes, long quiet turning into quick steps, a door slamming like thunder, a cheerful voice brightening, I found you. The choice shrinks to now. Jack rounds the corner, big and smiling as if catching a friend. The gun cracks. He barely flinches. The shovel swings, bites the wall, throws splinters like startled bugs. The phone rings once. Stops. The silence grows thick. Ethan wrenches the hatch. It sticks. Jack raises the shovel again. Mia calls from below, jump. Somewhere deeper, a new engine screams awake. The boards tremble. A whisper rides the cold air. Down. Now. Ethan throws himself toward the dark. Ethan drops, scraping shoulders on rough wood and landing hard on cold mud. Above, Jack's shovel bangs the hatch and sends sparks like angry stars. Jack's honey-warm voice pours through, run far as you like. Family always finds family. The dark swallows the hall's light. Ethan tastes pennies and rot. Mia, he calls, but answerless black presses back. His palms find old planks and a narrow path, and fear teaches his knees to move. A slow knock blooms on the wall beyond. Who you talkin' to, sugar? A woman purrs, voice warm like tea with grit at the end. The knob rattles. Zoe, hush that mouth, she croons through the wood. You know what happens when you meddle. Ethan slips through a rust-bitten door that squeals like a warning. He waits for a hand to catch his collar. None comes. The corridor beyond is a thin throat lit by a single swinging bulb. He half crouches down the dirt hall, one hand out, the other brushing the wall to keep balance. Rats whisper across his shoes. He focuses on breath, on the rhythm that keeps panic from learning his name. The corridor spits him into a sour-smelling laundry, old washers, hanging rags, and the memory of feet above, floorboards popping like knuckles cracked by someone he can't see. Moonlight slashes through shutters in bright bars and black stripes. A glass-eyed deer stares from the wall. On the mantel, a carved wooden dog head resting on brass, with two empty places waiting like open hands beside it. Zoe crackles through a little radio. 3 dog heads for the door to the yard. 2 near you. 1 with Jack. Her voice tightens on the last part, and Ethan wishes locks could open without taking anything from anyone. He pockets 1 dog head, finds a blue one in a broken cabinet, and turns into a red trembling against his chest. The air shrinks around a thin wire stretched ankle-high, leading to a little box that blinks like a sleepy eye. Not the red wire, Zoe warned. The other one. Ethan crouches, opens his folding knife, and hears his own breath go loud. Red and white wires feed the toy. He slides the blade under white and snips. The world stays whole. The switch with orange tape rattles a metal gate up. The garage breathes hot oil and burned rubber. A tarped car slumps in the corner. A chain with a hook hangs like a question from the ceiling. The door behind slams. Jack fills the space with a smile and the cough of a chainsaw waking. "We're gonna play a little," he says, and steps forward like he's been waiting for this his whole life. Ethan scrambles across the hood, slides over glass that shrieks when the blade kisses it. He dives into the driver's seat and turns a key someone left like a bad joke. The engine roars, and Jack laughs like Christmas came early. The car leaps. Shelves explode into showers of wrenches and screws. Ethan spins back, lines up, and slams Jack into the wall. The chainsaw clatters away, coughing oil and smoke. When Ethan looks again, Jack is gone, dangling from the chain like a circus act. Jack drops onto the hood, drags his smiling face through the open window, and yanks the wheel. Tires scream, a rim sparks, the room spins. Ethan elbows him twice, just enough breath to roll out, grab the fallen saw, and pull the choke. Steel meets steel. Sparks write bright letters in the air that no one can read. Jack laughs even when the teeth bite deep and spray a red-black fan. "You hurt me," he giggles, delighted. "I like that." The heat from a growing fire licks Ethan's face. A support beam groans. The car sputters and coughs into orange tongues that lick higher. Ethan slips on oil, catches the floor with his shoulder, and drags the saw across concrete to keep Jack back. Then, silence from Jack, a slump into firelight, a grin gone strange. A small, bloody dog head clinks and spins at Ethan's hand, payment for survival. He stumbles from the garage to the main hall, sets the 3rd head, and the huge door smiles open. Night air washes his face clean as hope. The yard sings with crickets. Vines and dead flowers choke the paths, but a trailer glows warm as a harbor. Inside, the bed is neat, the lamp friendly, the phone already ringing. Ethan picks up like a drowning man grabbing rope. Zoe's smile lives in her voice. "You made it. There's a cure for what's inside Mia. I can make a serum, need 2 ingredients from the greenhouse." Her tone thins on Marguerite, and Ethan understands safer is just a word that tries its best. He patches his shoulder with antiseptic and bandage that stings good. A few bullets slide into the magazine, little pieces of confidence clicking into place. He steps back into the dark yard and follows broken stones to a door that feels angry for a reason. Inside, walls crawl under a thick coat of insects. The swarm lifts as one dark cloud, slow and heavy with hate. Ethan throws his jacket over his mouth, retreats, and returns with a sputtering burner. Flame teaches the swarm what "stay back" means. Corridors hum with nests. Holes in the walls open like gills and breathe out fat, buzzing shapes that are not bees and not spiders. Ethan burns them down to twitching clumps that give off smoke like a bad incense. Then Marguerite arrives, arms long, hair alive, smile wrong. "You ain't a hero," she sings, voice sweet as syrup poured over knives. "Your food." Her babies drift in spirals that form patterns like lace made by nightmares. She climbs through a broken window like a spider that remembers being a woman and doesn't care to act like one. Fingers grow extra joints. Her mouth opens too wide, and from it pours a rolling black river that searches the air. Ethan runs the bench tops, burner hissing, gun cracking, feet slipping. The room becomes a dance of heat and smoke and tiny legs he keeps slapping off his neck. Marguerite laughs like a mother proud of a horrible thing. Under a red lamp, a pale bulb in a jar grows soft white hairs like teeth. He grabs it and feels hope prickle. At a back shelf, a glossy black seed pulses slow as a sleepy heart. He reaches, and something pale and blind grips his wrist. He jerks free, fires, and the thing shrinks into a breathing hole with a sticky sigh. The seed slides into his pocket. He does not let himself think about why it feels warm. Zoe's breathless relief turns to a snapped line. Lucas slips onto the phone smiling without lips. "I got your girls," he says, happy as a kid with a frog. "Follow the lights." In the workshop, paper garlands, balloons, and a wax cake spin like a bad birthday. Cut-out letters on the wall spell "stand in the circle and smile." A white circle glows faintly where thin wires sleep under paint. The TV pops on. Lucas leans close enough that freckles look like planets. "Stand in the circle so I can see you good." A panel drops, a metal box with switches A, B, and C. A note: "Choose wisely or the room chooses for you." The air grows hot and close. Somewhere, a faster whine wakes like a bomb remembering its job. Ethan listens at each switch. Behind A, tiny hungry clicking. Behind B, soft, slow tick. Behind C, nothing at all. He closes his eyes, sees Mia's photo, and throws C down. The room exhales. The circle dies. The candles stop spinning. Lucas's face darkens like storm shadow, then snaps back to a grin. Lucky guess. Round 2. Ethan steps, and the floor hums alive. Balloons pop in a running chain. The wax cake splits like flesh, and something black and wet rises with teeth like pale fingers. It turns toward Ethan like a flower hungry for light. Wires under the paint glow white-hot. The circle flares. The TV claps along with Lucas. "I lied," he sings. "We're skipping to the good part." The black mouth lunges. Hidden charges in the walls click awake, one after another, like a chorus learning the same bad note. Red lights strobe across the garlands, turning the room into a carnival with no exit. Ethan pivots toward the new door as the circle screams and the bombs find their breath. He has one heartbeat to choose a direction, one heartbeat to be lucky, and a house that loves to hear men run.